Hi, hello there, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today, whenever you are tuning in. Those of you that are joining live, welcome, welcome. And those of you that are watching the replay, I'm so glad that you find your way to my weekly wildlife wisdoms. And I hope that you enjoy tuning in and hearing a bit more about the amazing wisdom and teachings that all animals, all of life really, on this beautiful planet has to offer us as souls in human bodies. And today, with the date being the key indicator of my choice for this week's weekly wildlife wisdom, is the 8th of August, which was yesterday. And it's known as the Lion's Gate portal. So I want to share specifically today a bit more about that with you to again, my aim in sharing these is not to prove right or wrong, or to say, what I'm saying is the only truth. Very much not along those lines. It's really to share my understanding and my inspiration from nature and wildlife, in the hope that it inspires you to tune in more to nature and to listen to her and to learn and to grow in terms of your offerings, your service on the planet, because each one of us is capable of bringing so much into the world for good, forces for good. And I know that the only way we can protect and rebalance this beautiful planet is going to be through individuals like you and me, and hopefully many, many, many more people across the planet tuning back into the truth of our interconnectedness with everything here on this planet, and how we need and depend on each other. And everything is so closely tied together. So let's have a look at lion wisdom. Over my shoulder, I've popped up on a couple of easels two pieces which I'm going to reference, the two pieces of art that I've co-created with lions so far at this point. So I'll reference those in a moment, but I thought it's quite nice just to have their energy in this sharing as well. So Lion's Gate wisdom, and I wanted you to think about aligning with your purpose, really following what it is that in your heart of hearts, your true soul's wisdom, you're here to offer in the world. And then being able to step into that. And that's not just, I say, raw your truth. That's not just about voice. I mean, voice is part of that, and communicating with others is very powerful, but it's also about bringing that energy, that vibration into the world and living that energy in service. So that's why I've called it that. But it's really all today about focusing on the Lion's Gate. Now, back in March, if you haven't watched it already, I did another wisdom about lions. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to pop over once you finish listening in here, and that'll give you more information about the lions as well, if you're keen to hear more about their amazing energy and wisdom. So yesterday, the 8th of August, was the peak time in an annual occurrence between July the 28th approximately and August the 12th. And it was the peak time of the powerful astrological alignment in the heavens, very close to Earth, relatively speaking. And it really opens up a portal which tunes us into the lion's magnificent wisdom. And I'll explain why, because the alignment has three parts to it, at least. Firstly, the sun is in the constellation of Leo, which is intrinsically connected with lions, obviously, with the name Leo. And the star Sirius is a part of this alignment. Now, Sirius is really, really important and a fascinating being. It's the brightest star in the night sky. It's called Canis Major, and it's known as the dog star. It's also 25 times more luminous than our sun, and it's twice as big. So I don't know if you can get your head around that. Obviously, it's a lot further away. And in the night sky, when you see it, mainly in the northern hemisphere in the winter, you will see that it twinkles, and it's sort of like a white and blue twinkle. And this blue, this beautiful blue, is often associated with lion's energy as well. So that's something to be aware of, and just, you know, hold this lightly. And the belief is that from Sirius, all the soul beings, all the soul life force energy of dogs and cats, and that includes wolves and all the big cats, all originate their home, their true spiritual home is Sirius. And when they choose to incarnate, they come to Earth to do their service work, to help to bring magnificent balance. This is the feline side of it, balance and grace and courage and conviction, commitment to a leadership purpose, a reason for being here. I just sent out my newsletter and I quoted, I can't remember her surname now, I think it's Alice, I can't think of her surname, who said that all animals are a reason for being here is much deeper and bigger than we realize, and they all have their own purpose just as we do. So we've got this Sirius star playing a really prominent role in this three-way alignment. And then the final part is Orion's belt. And they're all in alignment. And this is the peak energy yesterday and today. Very, very strong energy. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we're feeling that feline energy very, very strongly, and we can work with it in a powerful way. So this amplification enables us to ride on the energy, if you like. And so it's an invitation, a strong invitation. And the lions have really been knocking on my door for the last couple of weeks, wanting me to realize that I'm at a tipping point, a crossroads, where I'm now ready to move into the next phase of my life. And I'm feeling this really strongly. To give you an example, and you'll, you know, think about your own situation at the moment. And so it happens, the potency happens on the 8th of August. So that is the 8th of the 8th. And so 8 is also a very, very significant and powerful number in terms of numerology and ancient beliefs around the significance of all symbols, and numbers being obviously important symbols. And this 8, you can see in my number 1 piece from my Celtic collection. The adder in the background is wrapping herself around the lion and the unicorn. And the 8, you're probably aware, is symbolic of the infinity symbol. And it's all about eternity. It's about the power of transformation, and that transformation will continue endlessly for all eternity. So there's no endings. Humans typically get very hung up on this idea of death and dying, and that it's some awful, dreadful thing that happens that we must try and avoid, and we must push away from and resist, when the symbology of the greater universal forces, if you like, however you choose to see that, whether it's around a god, or a force or life force energy, however you see that, is saying this is not truth. It is internal, and it's, you know, death, life, onward and onward. Different forms, sometimes non-physical, sometimes physical, but nevertheless, it is important. And so what we do in this lifetime matters. once we pass away, come out of this body, the next phase is not the end. I don't believe it's the end, and I feel that very strongly and always have. There is a difference. We no longer associate with this body. We leave, our soul essence leaves, but we are then engaged elsewhere. And as humans, we don't remember, we don't know what that is. The animals really do know what that is, and they don't have this fear of death. They still have fears, like they don't like pain and they don't like suffering. Well, pain really is the same thing. Suffering's when you're anticipating pain, which traumatized animals can experience, but they know that there is this eternity. So the 8-8 is so significant, and a magical addition to this special time of year. So it also is around healing as well. So at this time, my encouragement to you is to think about where in your life you are still working, and let's face it, we all are, on releasing past things, past experiences that we are holding in a fearful or fear-based way. And can we continue to love ourselves and heal ourselves back to that place of freedom from fear and the ability to trust that we are always supported and we are on an eternal pattern of life, death, life, and to embrace that, but also to take responsibility. We're here and it matters that we're here. So if you're telling yourself, or you've been conditioned and then you continue that conditioning within your own mind to think that you don't count, you don't matter, what difference can I make, it's only me, that's mistaken. It's so mistaken. You have something so unique and beautiful to bring into the world. And it doesn't need to be, you know, world leadership or, you know, inventing some life-saving device or something huge and, you know, perceived to be, you know, world shattering, changing. But it's about your essence and being able to be that as fully as you can. And this is what the Lions are really ushering us to really delve into and to review, reflect, and to dream big and to think about what we would ultimately feel most fulfilled about bringing into the world. And that often comes from the things that really touch our heart the most, the things that maybe cause us great sadness or frustration or anger that's happening in the world right now. So for me, and I know for many of you, the need for humanity to remember and act to rebalance nature and to protect nature and to steward nature, not to have dominion over and to, you know, use as a supposed endless resource, which of course nature is not. And she is suffering at the moment. She is experiencing a lot of imbalance. And so we are too, because guess what? We are a part of nature. We cannot separate ourselves. So we need to dream big and believe that we are able not to have illusions of grandeur and anything like that. But as usual, it's about not dreaming too small and not dreaming too big, but finding that way, that middle way of really being honest with ourselves about what we would like to do with the rest of our time here in this body, and then being practical and pragmatic about how we can take small steps towards that. And it's the small steps constantly happening that really does make the difference. So, you know, that's the call. So it's about looking for the middle way always, dreaming and visioning and using our power of co-creation to visualize into being what it is that our heart, our soul wants to give in service to the earth for the benefit and the good of all of earth. And that's really important. And I think there's so much examples, I'm not even going to offer any, of how we are veering very erratically off that middle way. And self-serving in many respects around the world, and how much damage that is causing, and how the world is shifting because of those choices in our energetic vibration and what we're manifesting into the world. So the lion's call on us to align with nature's laws. Study nature's laws. They are absolutely fascinating. I'm sure you probably do if you're watching this anyway. But learn about how wildlife, all animals, trees, plants, grasses, all follow these beautiful laws of alignment of how to do no harm and to give in service, and to only take what they need and when they need it, and to be compassionate and community focused. And this is the beautiful, sacred, matriarchal way of being that we really need to learn and remember again. And it is all about service based. That's not at the to the detriment of yourself, i.e. give and fall over. It has to be sustainable. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to make sure that we're able to keep being fit for purpose, our purpose to do that, but also that we are giving to something that's much greater than us. And that's, so much research has proven that that's where we start to feel fulfilled and at our best and at our happiest. You know, this pursuit of happiness that everyone talks about, it's really centered, I believe, in what we give to the world and how that makes us feel that we're contributing in a positive way. So tap into your deepest passions for serving the world for good, and nature at the center of that, and be true to you as a part of that, being a part of nature, and honor and serve her. And if more and more of us could do that and continue to do that, this is where we're going to start to see this big shift. And I do feel that this is happening. My impatience wants it to happen now, that everybody gets it. And of course, I'm sure there'll be lots of beings, humans on the planet, that don't get it in their lifetime, this lifetime. And we have to sort of just focus on ourselves and what we can do, rather than getting caught into these drama plays of getting angry and frustrated and sad and all those things about what everyone else is doing. We obviously are aware and we stay aware of what's happening, but it's how can I be in this world in a way that will help to rebalance that imbalance that we're really starting to feel. But we're at nowhere near the pinnacle of what is potentially going to happen if we aren't individually, collectively stepping into rebalance. So tune into your intuitive self. I talk about this a lot. All the animals, tune in, connect to the higher good. Connect, listen, ask questions, be open to receiving guidance. They're not necessarily always straightforward. Dreams, signs, repetitive things happening, listening into a conversation, hearing about a book that drives you to buy it, and then you read it and think, wow, I really needed to know this. All of this intuitive creativity is essential, and unfortunately often highly underrated and undervalued. We need to take that back for ourselves and really tune into our ancestral knowing. And that can be the animals, it can be our ancestors that we maybe knew or didn't know from generations before, that are healthy and able to give us that guidance. Asking them, listening, and then, taking the guidance and putting it into action, honoring it, and having real pride in yourself that you are doing that. So this is all about being peaceful. Slightly concerning to see that people are still suggesting that if there's violence presented, we must meet it with violence, because all that creates is more violence and more violence and more violence. So being peaceful, acting from our being in terms of what needs to shift towards the middle way. That's the real challenge, because it is tricky not to get pulled into that. Having compassion and hope as well is where I've certainly been given lots and lots of guidance over the last few weeks around. I have to step out more and more from this, look at them, look at what they're doing, how dare they, and more into, right, who am I? What are my gifts? How do I bring these gifts together and create and give something that is powerful and brings about positive change? And let's focus my attention and my intention and energy and emotion on bringing that into reality, step by step, taking actions from guidance. So that's the big challenge. And of course, the lions are masters of this. They are incredible beings, the ones here in physical form right now, and all of the lion beings and the cats up in Sirius, watching down, guiding and waiting for us to connect with them. So I really encourage you to do that. Now, just one final thing before I wrap up. I always donate 10% of everything I sell as an artist to relevant wildlife organisations. So I just wanted to let you know that my piece here is called Black Velvet. It's a dark-maned lion who has a lot to say for himself. The original is already sold, but I have prints and I have greetings cards of this beauty. And I will donate, I always donate 10% for lions to the Global White Lion Protection Trust, who are doing incredible work for over 20 years now, for the whole ecosystem out in South Africa, honouring the beautiful white lions, the sacred white lions of Timbavati. So have a look at whitelions.org if you haven't before, to read more about them. And then this piece, this is the original. It's the only piece available at the moment. I haven't created prints or cards. I don't know if I will on this piece. And it's in its double mount, but it obviously isn't framed yet, so it's not behind glass, but I just wanted to show you it today. So this original, again, I will donate 10% to the Global White Lion Protection Trust. So if you're interested in either of those, bringing lion energy in, do hop over to my website, which is juleschabot.com, and have a look on my shop there. So beautiful blessings to you all. Thank you, Susie, saying really lovely. Thank you, Susie, and it's always great to have you here at the lives. I treasure your presence, and I know you get this very deeply and are doing so much wonderful work in your life as well. So thank you. And yeah, just embrace this lion energy. See it as an opportunity to step back and review where you are as a leader of your own life, whatever that looks like for you, and compassionately and kindly and yet firmly and determinedly say, where do I want to go next? What can I do? Whether teeny steps are often the best way to go. How can I make a small shift that just takes me that bit further and closer towards this giving in the world that I want? And we've all got stuff to release, so we never stop doing that. So don't worry about that either, but do keep asking for help and receiving that guidance to release more and more. And that way we can shine our light, the part of us that is lion within us, we can shine that brightly out into the world. So there you are. It's lovely to be here again. Hopefully next Friday I'll be back, all being well. I'll let you know who is going to be coming forward closer to the time, as I normally do. But take really good care of yourselves. Susie saying take care, Jules and Helen. Have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, you too. And I'll see you very soon. Lots of love and take care. Bye for now. Bye.